Hey there, welcome to the channel. I didn't plan on doing a video today. Well, I did one this morning. I really didn't plan on doing one, but I'm getting ready to move my sheep. They've been in the orchard for about a week, and you guys have probably seen that video on that. But I got up here, and as you saw in the video on the orchard, we've not had rain. Today's date is the 17th of July. You can see I'm sweating. We've not had rain since the 10th of June. Heat index up to 110, 108, 110. And I wanted to show you guys a little bit about when electric fencing, mob grazing, and all of that, sometimes it doesn't work. I think all the videos on there are these great things, and it's, you know, they've had rain and they walk around and they just ride on their Kubota or their Polaris and they just push the pole in. They just keep on going. It's not the case up here now. So I've got this pasture. This is known as the experimental pasture. Okay, it's about 1.75. And I've got a lot of different things in it. So I've got, you can see from the heat, this is actually sorghum Sudan grass, believe it or not. That's sorghum Sudan, and you can see just how dry it is. Look at the sunflowers. These are supposed to be waist high. They're not coming in. Here is an iron clay pea where that does look okay. And here's one back here. Here's one. We just haven't had many. Here's some brown top millet that I had left over that I planted. But overall, we've just not had anything really come up and be good. I mean, you can look out and see just how dry this stuff is. I mean, look at the sunflowers. And so I'm at a point right now, you know, nothing looks good. I'm at a point right now to where it's like, okay, I'm gonna take them out over here. I'm gonna take them out of this pasture, out of the orchard, and open the gate, and I was going to split it. I'm going to show you guys. So I'm walking, and here's the line. I always do a line one and then go back. I'm a little weird about straight lines, so I see some of these people with their lines that are not. It's the poles where I got frustrated, just threw them down. I just want to show you all because I can't get the metal poles in the ground. It's that dry up here. Look at my fescue, okay? I know that we should be able to have dried up fescue. Yes, it's July in Alabama, but it's absolutely ridiculous. I got one pole in. I can't get any more in. You know, I just threw them down right here. And I want you to see something. I have bent that trying to get it in. Now, and for an example, I'm going to use another one. I want you guys to watch just how dry, okay? I cannot get that in the ground at all to be able to put up my fencing, my wiring. I got one in up here. But this is when you're going to have to, when you're doing rotational grazing, and you've got a season. I've never had a summer like this, not to this magnitude. What you're gonna have to do is just come in. I mean, look at that. Look at what it did to the metal, the plastic coating. When you push it in, it just pushes the plastic coating up. Things are that dry. What you're gonna have to do in a case like this is just open up the whole gate. I mean, you have to open up the whole pasture. You may not want to. You may not see a value in it. There is no value in it other than they're going to be able to eat. We have maybe a half of an inch Tuesday planned. I'm going to get up here in the shade. Maybe a half an inch Tuesday planned of rain. And that could be like so many other things. I mean, that could completely pass by us. I mean, you know, that's, that's better. When you're talking about 50% chance of 0.38 inches, I mean, I'm not a betting man, but I'm not going to bet that's going to definitely give me that. And again, I mean, Let me spin around and show you all. Look at this. You know, we've got some areas. I mean, this is sorghum Sudan, people. You know, 2 varieties, sweet grazer, and then also a BMR, brown midrib, that's absolutely fantastic. And I mean, look at it cooked. This is where we had a fire last year, so it came up. But I want you to look at just the brittleness of this. And you can see I put it down thick, but this is just brown midrib. I mean, this is ridiculous, you know? And I do my pasture as well. I mean, you know, I didn't fertilize, you know, and I know somebody out there, and I don't blame them. Someone's going to say, well, you know, you throw down a ton of fertilizer, some nitrate, some ammonium nitrate or something like that. You put that down and that'll help out and it'll shade out. It's like I said in one of my other videos, a lot of my people are already feeding hay. A lot of my friends down here, they're already feeding hay because it is so hot and so dry. So in a case like this, you know, do you take the chance and put down a heavy nitrogen and get some foliage for your animals, and then stockpile, or not stockpile, mob graze or rotational graze, and kill out all your worms and all your microorganisms in the ground? Yeah, they're not on the top surface, but the worms are down in the ground, okay? They are. They're down where the moisture is, way down. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to continue to do without fertilizer. I'm going to continue to try and get microorganisms in the ground. And if it takes me a year or 2 more, then I'm going to do that. But right now, this is crazy. I mean, when you can't get a pole to separate your field, and when you do, you've got the plastic being ripped off of it, and to get it in an inch, you're not making a hill of beans separating the field. And I'm an advocate of Joel Salatin. I'm a big advocate of the other guy out in Wyoming, Greg, Judy. I think those guys have it going on. But, you know, I lived in Virginia for over 30 years. I don't remember it ever being quite like this where Joel Salatin is. And Wyoming is not known for the heat that we get down here. It's hot, but these are pastures that, you know, you're just not going to get anything in them. So when you run into this, my lesson to all this is, when you run into this, sometimes in farming, a lot of times in farming, especially when you're doing any type of grazing, you're going to have to stop and just say, my plan is not going to work. And if you can learn that out here on the pasture and you can apply that to life in general, you're going to be a whole lot happier. Would I like to separate this pasture out and have it where it is, and be able to have the grass and all that growing? Yeah, but you know what? There's a whole worse things going on in this world right now. I'm not going to get upset about it. I'm not going to get irritated. I'm going to learn why it's doing that. I'm going to plan ahead, and I'm going to go from there. So hope the video counts for something out there to somebody. This rotational grazing in this heat is for the birds. I will open up this entire pasture, and instead of them being on it for 1 week and eating in 2 paddocks, I'm just going to open it up and put them in for 2. If we get a ton of rain, I'm just going to leave it like it is. I'm going to let them stay in here for 2 weeks. They won't eat all of this in the 2 weeks. And because it's double the size of the orchard, and they were in the orchard for a week. So just keep this in mind. Have a great day. If you have any questions, comments, put them in the comments below, and I'll get back to you. Thanks.